So you have built a machine learning model that predicts the moves of your opponent.
I can see them now. I can see.
But wondering how to deploy your model in production? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video we will create an application programming interface or API for our machine learning model. In previous videos we created a MNIST classifier and deployed it on client side through TensorFlow.js, but in this video we will create a small model which is trained on XOR truth table, and we will deploy it on server side through Cloud Functions on Firebase. The Cloud Functions can be written in various languages, but in this video we will use JavaScript. For that we require Node.js. So you can just install it from here. As you can see, I have already created the model. Here is our x and here is our y's. This is what our model is learning. It is actually a XOR operation built in Python. Here are the shapes for the data sets. As you can see, there are only 2 layers with 10 units and the last one for output. I have used MSE for loss and Adam as optimizer. I trained it for 1000 epochs. As the dataset is very small, so it is hard to generalize. It tends to overfit. So even after 1000 epochs, I got like 87% accuracy. Actually, it works really well on examples. So as you can see, XOR is odd detector. So here is the table. So as you can see, if the number of 1 in inputs is odd, as you can see here 1 0, so the output is also 1. So we have trained it on 3 inputs. So for 3 inputs, the number of 1 is odd. So here is the output 0.83, which is closer to 1. If the this gives probability. If it is less than 0.5, so it's the actual result is 0. If it is greater than 0.5, then the result is 1. So I have saved the model and converted into TensorFlow.js format. As we are using JavaScript for Cloud Function, so we will convert the model in TensorFlow.js format, and here is our converted model. So you can just download it from here. So here I have created a folder named API on my desktop. So first of all, we need to install Firebase tools. So we can do that easily through the npm command line using npm i-g Firebase tools. npm is a bit slow, so you can expect more than 60 seconds. I'll just skip this part. Now we will head over to Firebase console to create a project for hosting our Cloud Functions. You can just go to Cloud Functions, console, Firebase console. Here you can create new project. We will just create API. Okay, ML API. It's available. So it is now ready. Now we will okay, so we are done for now. We'll just go here and initialize the Firebase number. Okay, first you need to log in Firebase CLI. So for that you can use this command. I've already logged in. For you it will open a browser window in which you will log in using your Google account. So after that, in just Firebase init, this will initialize the required scripts for our Cloud Function development. So we only require functions. So you can select here this option from these options using spacebar. So we only require functions for now. Also we will use existing project. You can also create a project from this command line. Okay, now it will ask which language we like to use. So we will use JavaScript. Also no, and whether we want to install everything now, so we will yes. This can take about 20 to 30 seconds. So okay, we are done. So now if we take a look at this functions folder, in this we have index.js, in which we will write our functions. So let me just increase the font. Okay, so this is the format for writing a cloud function. We will just copy this. We will rename it to API. For let's test whether it's working or not. So for that we will just serve RVE. What this does, it creates a local server and it hosts our functions over there. So as you can see here, functions are hosted. Just take a look. Okay, so we are getting the response, so everything is working. So now what we will do, we will first install TensorFlow.js, as we will be using the TF.js saved format. For that we will install TensorFlow.js. So for that we will first cd into functions directory, and there we will run this command @TensorFlow/tf.js. So this might also take about 20 to 30 seconds. So no, it's actually fast, I think. Okay, I will just skip it. Okay, we are done here. So now we will include TensorFlow.js in our project by require TensorFlow.js. So now we have included everything that we need. So after this we will need to upload our model to cloud storage, so that we can link the model here, because cloud functions only access absolute URLs. They are restricted to use relative paths. I don't know why it is like that, but it is what it is. So we will just go to our storage. In storage we will create a new bucket, and okay, done. This also takes about 10 seconds, so I will just skip it. Okay, it is done. Now we will upload our files, which are this shard and model. So both files, open. Now it will load everything, and now we require this link. So that first we will check whether it's hosted or right. Okay, so our JSON is hosted correctly. Now we'll just copy this thing and we will create a function predict, and this will be a sync function. Let equal to await dot load layers model, and here we will paste the path or the URL of our JSON. And now let's test whether we are able to load the model correctly or not. So we will just search. Okay, so now we will just check. Okay, we are getting the response as the summary of model, so it's working correctly. So now what we will do, first we will pass the data through the parameters or the queries to this request object. What we will do for that, just comment this thing first. So we will get the data. The data is equal to request dot param for query dot data. So what is this exactly? If we add here this question mark and data equal to anything like 1 2 3, and we console log this data here, or just return this thing. You can see actually we will get 1 2 3. So this data we can get through this query thing. Okay, after that we will separate it from commas. So we will pass something like 0 comma 0 comma 0. We will get this thing. So what we will do for that, we will do data is equal to data split comma, and if we now check the data, we get this array of strings, but our model is trained on integers or floats. So what we will do, we will convert this thing into an integers. For that I will just iterate. I will create a data frame empty array, and I will just iterate this thing to df.push parse int this e, and then what we will say, this is df. So now what we get is this integer, or it's actually integer thing. So now what we'll do, we will just pass this to this predict function. We will get this data. Now we will convert it into a tensor. Tensor equal to data tensor equal to, okay, first we need to convert into a 1D array. Tensor 1D data. After that we need to expand the dimensions. Dot expand dims 0th. Now I think we are ready to do everything. Let me just pass this data here. Now we will get this predictions. Red equal to model dot predict. We'll pass this tf, then we will get the value using, what was that function, got it's data sync. This is actually a promise. We'll await this thing, and at the end we will return everything. Let's just return here only. Now let's check what we get. Actually we get empty thing, and I suppose we'll get some errors. No, not errors. Everything is working, but this is empty. Okay, we should change this. Okay, got it. Actually we can't do this thing. It is actually going to do this predict dot then thing. We will get the actual, let's call it e for some time. Now we can response dot send this e. Now it will work as now try. Okay, now you can see we get this thing. I got this thing. I just messed up some major code in here. Okay, now it's correct. Now we can only send the 0th element. It's again got stuck, I think. Implicit handle HTTP. Okay, the issue is here. We can't actually pass this thing, so we need to pass this as a JSON thing. So for that, we will do this predict. Now I think it should work. Okay, so now it is working. So you can see that the prediction is 0.33, so it is less than 0.5, so that the output for the XOR will be 0, which is actually true. If we can see, there is no 1, so it's even, as 0 is even. It's working fine. Let me just check whether we are doing it correctly. Okay, we are done here. So our API is now working. At the end, we will just deploy our function so that we can use it from any platform, Android, iOS, everything. It's just a link. It will be provided to us by Google. Okay, so the function is deployed correctly. Now we will just check it in our browser. You can see we need to pass the arguments. Suppose this, okay, I can't zoom this. So if we pass 0, 0, 0 into data. I think, okay, it is working correctly. We are getting the prediction back. If I change this to 1, okay, 89. So as you can see, the number of ones in the input is odd, so that we get 0.89, which is correct. So now, but there is one issue. As this is hosted on an HTTP server, we can't use it on an HTTP platform. So that for that we need to add some changes here, which is we need to set the response so that it will allow a cross origin access. So for that we will set, here are some, I have written it there. I will just write this. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, so I have written these things. These statements allows us to make the call to the API without any HTTPS or secure connection, which is actually bad, but for now we can allow, as we are in this development phase. So even if how I can try on HTTP thing, okay, I have an idea. We can actually use the fetch API in JavaScript. We check whether it is working. So here you can check in the console. Let me zoom this here. I just paste it in here. Call our API. So you can see there are some issues. So for solving these things, we have added these statements. So now we will just deploy it again. I will come back. Also the functions are updated. So if we now try to call our API, we get the prediction back. So now you can go ahead and create your own APIs. That's all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. In next video we will create our API using Flask, and we will deploy a more complex model like AlexNet. Also if you like this video, you can like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.